Hey everybody, we're here to talk Niners Texans, and we'll make some predictions after this. All right, so Niners are playing the Texans this weekend. Um, Based on what I'm hearing, this is the best defense in football.
Mm-hmm.
They've played what 8 games or something like that, and they've given up 88 points.
Dang.
That's pretty
Pretty
good.
impressive. They're good at all three levels on defense: D
Mm-hmm.
line, linebackers, secondary. They're just awesome. Um, how are the Niners going to score on this team? Because the Niners have a hard time running the ball, and we don't have very many healthy pass catchers right now. How are you guys feeling about this matchup?
It's a tough matchup, but I think we're gonna get put in some advantageous positions from the Texans offense being lackluster and maybe turning the ball over once or twice. So I think we're gonna get put in some decent positions, and I don't think we're gonna light it up. I'll give I'll save my prediction to a little bit later on, but I don't think we're gonna like light it up by any means. But I think Mac Jones fits this game script really well in that he can dink and dunk, feed Christian the ball, not put the ball in danger's way, fingers crossed, and kind of play that Jimmy Garoppolo play style and hopefully dink and dunk and do enough on offense that they can get like a nice, comfortable win and something that like their defense can kind of like hold them in because of how poor the Texans offense has been.
Yeah, I mean, as good as the Texans' defense is, their offensive line is at the opposite end of the spectrum. It might be the worst
Yeah.
unit the Niners face all season as far as the offensive line is concerned. So that
Yeah.
bodes well for the Niners.
Yeah.
Wonder if this is going to be a really low scoring game. I remember years and years ago, like in the early early to mid 2000s. Maybe it was in the early 2010s. I don't know, but there was a Niner Ravens game where I think the final score was like 9-7 or 9-6 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that.
I'm wondering if it's gonna be as extreme as that. Um, I haven't really watched the Texans. I think I've seen a little here, a little there of them, right? So I haven't really paid that close of attention to them, but I have the same understanding that you have, Ryan, that they're good at all three levels, really good defense, like that's, strength of their team. I guess I hope that the Niners can scheme things up and exploit some matchups, like find a way, because there's got to be a weakness, right? They're not the 2000 Ravens. Maybe they are. I don't know. Maybe they're going to turn out to be a historically great defense, but I feel like you just take the underneath stuff, like Chasen said, the dink and dunk game. Use what you have to your advantage, and I mean, I know we've talked before about not wanting to overwork McCaffrey, even though it still seems to happen every week. This might be a game where you actually need to do that, and just kind of move him all around. Or maybe Kyle dials up some of those, plays for juice that he seems to dust off, a few times a season where he somehow ends up wide open streaking down the sideline or whatever. Um,
I
yeah,
wonder if
I don't know.
D'Amico is going to have his defense like keyed in on Juice. Like, don't let this slippery little bastard get loose.
I'm sure, but like you can be keyed in. I I guess I just feel like in general, Shanahan has a pretty good track record against his former disciples.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I just feel like he's gonna find a way again, Like I just have a feeling that I don't think they're gonna light it up like Chasen said. I don't think they're gonna, look like some great offense. It's probably gonna be kind of a frustrating slog of a game. um, but I feel like, yeah, they'll find a way. They'll figure it out.
I was just gonna look at the Niners injury report. Have you guys seen
Y-
anything like from practice
No, I
today?
Yeah.
have not.
Who's in
Yep.
and out?
Yeah. Brindle's officially out. Yetur Gross Matos out. Bryce Huff out. Ricky Pearsall out. Brock Purdy out. Questionable is Spencer Burford, Luke Gifford, and Diamador Lenore with a quad.
I guess the only name on that entire list that I'm curious about is Lenore.
Yeah.
Questionable tells me he's gonna at least start. We'll see how
What
it
I
goes.
what I saw is it's like a deep bruise or a bone bruise or something like that. Like it's not like a strain. It's some sort of a bruise and that he is expected to play.
You know who's not playing too is Nico Collins.
Has he been ruled out? Is Christian Kirk playing?
No. So there's a clear to me this game like bet the under all day in this game. If you
Yeah.
gamble, bet the under. The under in this game could be or the over under could be like it could be 35 points. I would still bet the under.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how the Niners don't have this like super dominant defense, but the Texans O line is so bad and they don't have any of their top wide receivers like the Niners don't.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got a okay, kind of solid, maybe we'll see, rookie running back. I don't know how the Texans are going to score more than 13 points in this game. So, from the Niners' perspective, like if you can score 2 touchdowns, they should win this game. And that might be like I might be wrong about that. We'll see. We could get a 30-33 game, who knows, but I just feel like 2 touchdowns in this game, the Niners should win this game. Scoring those 2 touchdowns will be very difficult though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I agree. I think what I'm banking on is a coaching advantage, which I know I wouldn't say a screaming coaching advantage. I do respect D'Amico Ryans a lot as a coach, but I do think, yeah, Kyle usually beats his disciples. I don't even know the name of their offensive coordinator, but I've just heard from listening to other reports or podcasts or whatever that he's bad, and or he's been bad this season, which would make sense since their offense has been so poor. So I'm banking on out coaching them, and the Texans offense being quite poor and our offense being good enough to put up more points than they are. I'm tempted to just give my prediction, which I'll resist the urge, but yeah, I'm expecting this to be like in the high teens, something like that. And I weirdly could see it being a game where the Niners hold the lead the whole game and the Texans maybe make a little push, cut it to a possession, and then we get another field goal and push it up. I do expect I expect to control this game a little bit.
You know, you gave the stats about how much the Texans have held their opponents to overall for the season, right? And and their average looks really good. But I was just looking at their past opponents since I haven't paid that much attention, right? And part of that is because they shut out the Titans, which is kind of like, okay, big deal. And
Yeah.
they also beat up on the Ravens that
Yep.
week where the Ravens, I think that might have been the week where they lost Lamar early in the game and they probably just, were a shell
Mm-hmm.
after that. So those 2 games, like the Ravens only getting 10 against them in that game and then the Titans getting 0 are really like kind of bringing down that average. Just last week, they gave up 27 points to the Seahawks. So I I kind of think that the Niners have a better offense than the Seahawks.
Dang.
I know I'm talking on the whole. Like I think Jackson Smith and Jigba is probably a better receiver than anybody on the Niners right now. But and so they might have some playmakers like that are better or individual players that stand out. I think they probably have a better O line, but I'm just saying on the whole, when you look at the offense, I don't think of Seattle as being some offensive juggernaut, right? And if they can score 27, I feel like Kyle and the Niners can at least put up 20 plus.
So
And I feel like if they put up 20 plus, good luck Texans.
So I watched the Texans Seahawks game because I was hoping that the Seahawks would lose.
Mm-hmm.
And the Texans offense was so disappointing and so inept. The amount of time, like you say, like I think the Seahawks, put up like 27 points. Oh my gosh. The Texans defense still dominated. They forced 4 turnovers. The Texans offense was so horrible. It was 3-and-out city, turnover city, doing the dumbest stuff, literally getting the ball. Like the Texans literally scored. Like they got a strip sack and recovered it for a touchdown. Like that's how bad the Texans offense was. And the defense forced 4 turnovers. They got a touchdown. They were doing everything. And the Texans just couldn't get a first down, which I think speaks to how, unfortunately, how good the Seahawks defense is this week. But I left that game being like, holy crap, the Texans defense is so freaking good and so scary. And holy crap, their offense is one of the worst I've ever seen. Like, so sloppy, terrible O-line. Like, just one of the worst O-lines probably in the NFL. Their receivers weren't catching the ball. CJ Stroud looked like he didn't know what was going on. It like their offense looked terrible and their defense looked like incredible.
From what I understand, that all comes from the Texans O line. They're
Yeah.
like, I listened to some people who kind of deep dive into the all 22 tape. I don't really have any interest in doing that, but I do kind of value what they see when they watch it. And listening to them talk about the Texans O line, like it's a literal clown show. People bumping into each other, people getting spun around, not knowing who to block. CJ Stroud isn't even hitting the last step in his drop, and he's just got guys all over him. So he's constantly trying to scramble. He can't find receivers, and it's just their offensive line it's probably 32 out of 32. It's the worst in the league. And if the Niners, it just sucks because they were also talking about how one of the tackles for Houston is this really big guy. He's a rookie. He's like 6'8" or 6'9". Ariante Irsay. I was actually kind of hoping the Niners would pick him because they needed a tackle. But apparently he's really struggling with speed rushers. And I thought, man, Bryce Huff might have a hat trick in this game if he was going against that guy. The Niners don't have that speed rushing element, though, without Huff. You going to
Imagine
say
if they
something, Steven?
imagine if they had Bosa and Huff, how much they'd be licking their chops going into this week.
I
Yeah.
would feel so good about this game if we had Nick Bosa and Huff. I
Even
would be
just
like,
Huff,
Yeah.
I'd be, just based off of that conversation I was listening to, like, man, Huff feels like he might dominate as a pass rusher in this game.
yeah.
Michael Williams, step up, buddy. Like this would
Great.
be a big weekend for him to go out there and get a sack or two.
Maybe he'll have his first multi-sack game as a pro in this game.
That'd be fun.
Does he have a single sack this season?
Yeah, he has.
Got one.
He might even have two.
I think he might. He's probably been in on some half sacks too, because
Yeah,
I feel like he's constantly disruptive, and so
he consistently, from what I noticed, pushes the tackle like into the quarterback. It's just by the time they get there, the quarterback's either scrambling away or throws the ball. But he's
Mhm.
consistently pushing whoever is blocking him backwards.
yeah.
And
He's a
that's
strong
really
kid.
good to see. It just, of course, it makes me wish Bosa, because if the quarterback
Oh,
starts
yeah.
feeling pressure from that side and moving the other way, Bosa's screaming around the other edge. And I bet Bosa's sick to his stomach at home watching the defense
Yeah.
right now, especially watching these young guys move the quarterback around. He's probably thinking like, man, I'd be cleaning up. I'd be eating these quarterbacks alive right now with these new teammates.
Just
Yeah.
get healthy for next year, and they're going to be even a year better. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
all the young guys, you know.
This
I
is.
think-
Go ahead, Jason.
I was gonna say, I think this is gonna be a game where our just like guys like Michael and Alfred Collins and Sam O, like because of how bad the Texans offensive line is, this is gonna be a game where it's gonna be like, holy crap, maybe we don't need to trade for a pass rusher. Like I think these guys are still gonna whoop that O line and make CJ very uncomfortable. But it's going to be a little bit of fool's gold. It's going to be because of
Yeah.
how bad the Texans offensive line is.
That would be silly to me for the Niners to watch their D-line dominate the worst offensive line in the NFL and think like, oh, we're good. Like, no, go get some help.
Yeah.
If you really think you have a chance at, going to or winning the Super Bowl, go get some help.
And
Speaking of going to get some help, though, have you guys heard some of the rumors about who's unhappy with this team and who could be looking to get out of the state of New York?
Oh, wait. Get out of the state of New York. I thought you were going to say Max Crosby. Or who are you talking
No,
about?
the Raiders are not trading Max Crosby, and they're certainly not trading to the Niners. That ship has sailed. We can move on from Max Crosby.
no, I have not
Who's
heard.
not happy
I'm
in New York?
excited.
Kayvon Thibodeau?
No, who cares about Kayvon Thibodeau? Uh, who got drafted right the very next pick after Nick Bosa?
Quinnen, I would love
Yeah,
him. Yeah.
apparently he's unhappy. I don't blame him. How could you be on the New York Jets, especially for as long as he has, and be thrilled about what you're seeing there? And there's rumblings that he would kind of like to be traded, and that would be an expensive get. But could you imagine if the Niners went and got him? Oof.
That's a game changer.
I mean, it doesn't help the edge, obviously, but I guess you can just try to focus Michael more on the edge and don't have him kick inside on pass rush downs. They definitely would have a big D line, like big, strong D line, having that guy
Yeah,
in
with
there.
Keenan, Collins, and Michael, all of a sudden it's like you're starting to look like DeForest and Armstead again with like just big dudes.
So, a name that I had heard, this was a couple weeks ago, and not that he was
Do you
unhappy or
guys hear
anything.
that?
Yeah.
No, what is it?
Sounds like
You do.
chicken.
It's my neighbor's dogs. It sounds like they're being
Oh,
abused. They're just screaming over there.
Oh, I did not hear it.
sounds like chickens.
Um, so what I was going to say, the name that I had heard thrown out there as like an under the radar potential target was a different defensive tackle, more probably a little more established, more of a vet, was Simmons from the Titans.
Simmons is a stud. You don't want him, Ryan?
No, sorry. I'm trying to mute my mic because the dogs are going crazy. I've heard Larry Krueger talk about that a little bit. I shook my head no because of course I want him, but he's like the next Chris Jones. Like the Titans that'd be like the Niners trading away Bosa. Like
It
it'd be moronic.
it would
They
take
would never do it.
it would probably take a lot to get him.
And
And I'm
yeah,
not
you're
saying
talking
like
about multiple ones or something.
yeah,
Like
yeah, I'm not
Mm.
saying like they got to go make it happen. But you know what? It's going to take a lot to get Williams out of New York too.
I know. I'm curious what that would be.
I
And
feel
it's
like
like let's just say it's a first round pick. Would
Oof.
you like you get him for multiple? It's not like he's 32. I mean, he's Nick's age. He's 28 probably.
He's locked
He's under
up too, I think.
contract.
'Cause didn't he just
Yeah.
sign a contract like a year or two ago? Probably the same time
Yeah,
Nick did,
he's
right?
on the Bosa timeline, so he's got a couple more years on his deal.
Familiarity with Sala. Um,
Man,
True.
imagine next year too. You have Michael, Collins, Keenan, and Bosa as your starting four. Find a better
Ooh.
defensive starting four.
hopefully keep Huff around too for the pass rush downs.
You know what? So he's 27, so he's just a little bit younger than Bose. He was born in 1997, and he's making slightly under 25. He's making 24 million a year. That's not that bad.
Yeah, that's a lot. It's another expensive piece.
But I mean, if he's he's in the prime of his career. If he's a superstar defensive tackle, that's worth it to me.
I would agree. Yeah, I don't. That doesn't feel like a lot to me. Like Buckner when he signed his deal with his initial deal with the Colts all those years ago. Now that was for like 22 or 23. Like he's barely above Buckner 5 years later.
I would love it. I don't know if it's worth a first round pick.
Yeah, that's a steep price.
I would love to have him. I know he's really, really good, and I think like talk about if your philosophy is to just have an amazing D line, and that's what they've said for the longest time. Well, here's a way to do it and prove it. I guess it would all come down to what it would take to get him. And if they could do it with like I don't know, a second and some other mid-round picks maybe. I mean at some point it just becomes too rich, I feel like, because you're giving up a lot of opportunity to get solid players, and as we have seen, the Niners can find really good guys in the middle rounds. So you're
That's
giving
why
up
they
that
should trade their
opportunity.
early picks because they can't find guys early.
So I guess by the yeah, but I mean, it's not that they can't. It's just that they don't have a perfect track record. But like early returns, I'm pretty happy with Mikel. I know it's a long way to go, but I'm happy with that pick. I'm happy with Ayuk. I'm happy with Bosa, of course, but Bosa was a no-brainer. Like, they have drafted well in the early rounds and they have drafted bad in the early rounds, right? Like it's not like it's all bad.
Yeah.
Anyways, I I don't know. It would just depend how expensive he is, right? Like as a player, would love to have him. I think that would be amazing. But seems
I'm
seems like a long shot.
I'm reading a report that says the asking price is a second round pick. I mean, I don't know if that's where it starts at, and
Done.
people
I
yeah,
mean,
I know.
I'd do that.
I
Why
would
is
for
John
sure.
why is John Lynch not making the call?
I bet you he is. I bet you he
We'll
has.
even we'll even throw in Jawan Jennings. You can have Jawan Jennings and a second round pick, and you can send us back Keenan Williams and like one of your DBs or something.
Yeah.
Keep Sauce Gardner away from this team, but send us one of your young good DBs or a linebacker or something.
I
I,
remember when Sala and Mike McDaniel were like poaching away some of our players here and there and being like upset about that. And now
Is
if
DJ Reed still there?
I know, I don't think so. I think he signed a big contract somewhere else. I can't remember where.
yeah, I feel like he went somewhere else too. I can't remember though.
Like the Steelers or something. I don't know. But man, if we could poach some former Jets that were really good and are maligned, like I'm down for that. I feel like there's a lot of bargain edge rushers that could be had, and it's not big names, but it's guys that either have potential or like a little bit older. I think there's some solid guys on Miami and on New York. Some of the names I've heard thrown around are like what's his face?
Bradley Chubb,
Bradley Chubb,
Arden Key,
Jalen Phillips, who apparently
Jalen Phillips.
is kind of a stud, but has had some injury issues.
There is an edge rusher on the Jets too, whose name I forget, but I've heard
Yeah.
his name get thrown around too.
Mm-hmm. So there's some guys. I mean, trade for two. Give me Quinnen and give me Chubb, or actually Jalen Phillips. I think I'd rather have Jalen Phillips. Give me
I think
both of
I'd,
them.
I think I'd rather have Jalen Phillips too. Does Ayuk have any value to be able to move the needle, you think?
I don't know, but
No,
I'm kind of getting excited for IU to get back.
Well, I saw your
I know.
video
After
that you sent
watching that
around.
video of him blocking again, I'm like, yeah, I can't wait for this dude to get back. He's
If
feisty.
that's who we're getting,
I
like
know.
that's
Exactly.
Because yeah, that's not who was on the field before he got hurt. After
No
his contract,
way.
like that was not him. It was still like selfish, not trying, too cool for school Ayuk. It was like, dude, I don't like this Brandon Ayuk.
I.
Yeah.
It's funny because I honestly have not been like get rid of Ayuk the whole time. I think Ayuk is really good, and I think he offers something that the other receivers don't. But I feel like Pearsall's emergence and just kind of seeing other guys in the offense, like, oh my gosh, Kendrick Bourne is putting up numbers in this offense. It's just kind of made me like solidified even more. You don't need to spend a whole lot on receivers in this offense. It's
Yeah.
it's great if you can
Yeah.
get a generational guy, but knowing that you can get by with, solid wide receivers and have them look good, then yeah, if he has any value and he's been a little bit like of a malcontent, then hey, somebody who needs a receiver, we can hook you up.
I
Okay, a
agree.
second round pick and Brandon Ayuk for Keenan Williams and Garrett Wilson.
They're,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
not they're not getting rid of Garrett Wilson, and you know that.
I know.
Yeah, baby.
But what I was thinking, even though I feel like Miami is probably, if anything, going into like rebuild, tear it down mode, so they wouldn't want to take any players on, but maybe they could use a receiver because I doubt Tyreek Hill is a long term option, and they might want a vet guy that's been more proven. And if they did want to move on from Jalen or Bradley Chubb, because and then have Ayuk under contract for a while for whatever their new quarterback is going to be next year. Maybe they would be interested in him, but
How pissed would you be if you were Ayuk and you do all this a year
rehab.
of rest and rehab and all this work and you're about to come back and the Niners ship you to one of the Jets or the Dolphins, two of the worst teams in the NFL,
Yeah,
and you're just to play with two just awful quarterbacks
Mm-hmm.
and play for two. Mike McDaniel's definitely getting fired.
yeah.
Jets head coach, like, I mean, he'll probably get to see a second year, but he might not be long for that job too.
Well,
Gosh, I'd be so mad.
I assume Juwan Jennings is gone after this year, right? Like it
Yeah,
feels
he's going to be a free agent. He seems like he's a little
it seems like
frustrated.
he's already got a foot out the door, right? Or something like that to a certain
Yeah.
degree.
Yeah,
Ryan
that was weird.
Ryan went away. Oh, there
That
he
was
is.
He's back. All we saw is your sign. Oh,
Maybe it's a connection thing for him. Well, while he's figuring that out, assuming that Jennings is gone,
yeah.
like I really kind of like the idea of an Ayuk Pearsall pairing.
Yeah.
Like I think that could be pretty sweet next year. Like I'm
Yeah.
not saying like just get rid of Ayuk to get rid of him, but if there's a way that he could actually bring in something of value, I don't think receiver is as desperate as it felt before the season started. I feel like, Kendrick Bourne has at least shown that he's still got something to offer, and he could kind of play the Jennings role, for the next 2-3 years, unless he's trying to go find another payday. But I have a feeling that he would be happy to, get paid a fair amount and be on a competitive team. And if that's what the Niners can be, like, I feel like Ayuk, Pearsall, if Watkins can get healthy next year and offer anything, we
Yeah.
still have no idea what Cowing has. Like there's a lot to like. Even though I've loved Juwan Jennings for so long, and
Yeah.
don't want him gone, it's just not looking likely that he's going to stick around. And so, yeah, there's a lot of good. What I'm trying to say is there's a lot of good reasons to hang on to Ayuk for the future.
Yeah.
For now, if he comes back and he produces in the second half of this year, maybe in the offseason, maybe there'd be a taker. And you could trade him for even cheap, a fourth-round pick or something.
Can we?
And then maybe you re-sign Jawan and give him a pay raise, and then you can keep him around. But maybe Jawan's time with the Niners is just kind of sealed. But if KB's a free agent, Jawan's a free agent, and if you trade Ayuk, all of a sudden you're like, you got to draft a wide receiver and with one of your top 3 picks.
As much as I love Juwan Jennings, and I do love him quite a bit, I believe that last year is the best season he's ever going to have in his career.
No question.
I don't think he's ever topping that yardage total. I mean, I feel like he is a wide receiver 3 at best.
Damn.
No, I agree. I mean, he's like the best wide receiver 3 in the league. But
Yeah,
if you have to rely on him, I mean, maybe he could be a wide receiver 2 somewhere. Like if you told me my top 2 wide receivers were like Jamar Chase and Juwan Jennings, like I'd be okay, like I'm cool with that. But ideally, you want like Debo, Ayuk, and Juwan.
right,
Brandon Ayuk, Pearsall, Juwan.
right.
No wonder they were so good at run blocking with those 3 receivers. Like, holy crap, man.
Yeah, and it's no wonder that when Christian got through the first level, he had so many lanes to run through because Ayuk and Jawan and George and these guys are just mowing guys down in the secondary, and Christian was breaking all those long runs in 2023. All right, so we got off on a little bit of a tangent there with trades, but let's make some predictions and call it a wrap.
I'm going to say Niners win 24-17. One clean touchdown victory.
Go ahead, Steven. I'm curious. I'm just going to look up the point spread for this game.
Gosh. Okay. Um, I'm gonna go a little lower. I'm. You must be surprised by the spread.
Texans
I'm.
minus 1.5.
Dang.
Okay.
I mean,
Is it in Houston?
It
it's
is.
in Houston. The Niners are on the road. Best defense in football. At least that's what people are saying. Niners are banged up.
I'm gonna say Niners 19-13.
That was literally my prediction. I was
Then
thinking like maybe it's only 16-10 or 16-13. But yeah, I had that number 19 in my head. That's funny. I was going to say my game MVP is going to be Eddie Pinheiro because he's going to make like 5 kicks.
Eddie P. The
Yep.
defense sets up the Niners with at least 2 short fields in the game, and they cash in on both. Maybe one will be their solo touchdown, and another will be um, Eddie putting a field goal through.
This is the game the Niners get an interception.
I
That
hope
was just
so.
going to be my question. I was going to say the Niners are on a 14 game streak right now, no interceptions, over 400 pass attempts, no interceptions. Is this the game they break the streak?
I think yes, and then I think they get multiple against Jackson Fart coming up next week.
What's too bad is really they should have already had one this year. That was such a bogus call on Upton when he got his against
That
the
was a terrible
Jags.
call. And
Yeah.
then Chase Lucas almost had one last week. Who gets the
That
pick
was
this week then, Chase?
that was
Lenore.
on
Diamador.
Lenore?
Mm-hmm.
The hyena gets one?
Or Malik, but I'm going to go Diamador.
I don't know if Malik, does he have ball skills? Or is
I
he
don't
just
know.
like a run and kill you player?
I think he's a human missile.
Yeah.
Can you guys imagine what's going to happen when Malik meets Scadabo?
Oh, gosh.
An atomic explosion?
I wish Fred was there to help him out.
Yeah.
And did you guys ever watch that clip I sent you of Scatabo saying
Yeah.
Fred, Amon-Ra St. Brown asked him, like, who's the linebacker you can't wait to play? And he said, Fred Warner. I can't wait to play Fred Warner. He was
love
probably
how-
more devastated than anybody seeing Fred's injury.
Yeah. It's because I'm pretty sure he said he grew up a Niners fan. So that's
He did,
why.
yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra seemed like his feelings were hurt about Scadabo rooting for the Niners when they played him in the NFC title game.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, we usually kind of give the Niners the work. Something like that.
He's
I'm like,
kinda
wait, what was
not
the score
wrong.
of that game, Amon-Ra? I can't remember who won.
Yeah.
Yet every time I feel like an important game happens between the two of those teams, the Niners come out on top. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Hopefully we'll see them again in the postseason. I'll say my prediction is going to be pretty close to Stevens. I'll say like 16-9.
Oh, you should have gone with 19-13 if that's what you were thinking. Just
No, I'll go even lower. I'll go 16. I'll go 18-9. Niners get a safety.
ooh, that'd be cool.
I
That'd be
mean, this
fun.
would be the week to do it against that O-line.
I
What
know.
would be awesome, like the rarest of things I feel like we see as Niner fans, would be a special teams touchdown. It would be so cool if we got like a defensive touchdown and a special teams touchdown, because it feels like that in itself might be enough.
Sky Moore MVP punt return touchdown.
Yeah, I mean it could be a block field goal, but yeah, sure. I think poor Sky Moore, like he's his own worst enemy, obviously, but like he has some ability. He just can't seem to get out of his own way.
I know. He had a nice play against the
Right.
Falcons. He broke 2 tackles, got a first down.
Exactly. He shows stuff. I remember seeing him make good plays when he was on the Chiefs too. And it's like, why don't you do that consistently, man? You'd be great.
Yeah. I think that's the
I
problem with
thought-
every football player ever. It's like they can all make a play or two, but like, why can't you do that all the time? You'd be a Hall of Famer if you could.
Yeah.
I saw a clip of it was like a Falcons fan. I think they were just like live reacting to the game, like a stream or something like that. And on that play, he like freaked out. He's like, because Sky Moore broke 2 tackles. He's like, "Is that Sky Moore? Are you?" He's like freaking out. That's
Those are
pretty
funny.
good.
I'd be
Well,
pissed too if I was watching Sky Moore break tackles and beat my team.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to watch this game live. I plan to record it, but the kids have a tournament this weekend, and I know they both have Sunday morning games, and this is an early start.
Mhm.
But I'm sure I'll be checking stuff.
All right. Well, we'll see how it goes, and we'll chat again maybe on Sunday night or Monday.
Sounds good. All
Sounds
right.
good.
All right. See ya.
Go Niners.
Go Niners.